Am I the asshole? For making it clear to my sister that my son won't be helping her with stuff. My 8-year-old son has dyspraxia, which is a neurological condition that affects coordination and movement, for anyone who has never heard of it before. He struggles not to drop or break things, doesn't have good eye-hand coordination. He has always appeared clumsy, and while he does his very best to be careful and to take good care of things, he can't always prevent accidents, breakages, or spillages from happening. This is something my sister has expressed frustration about over the years. He was the type of toddler, and now kid, who will be eating or drinking something and it falls to the floor, or he knocks stuff over without meaning to because he's reaching for something else. It's not his fault, he does ought to help him, and has done physio in the past to boost his strength. But there's no cure, he's just getting help to go through life. My son has broken many things because of his condition. If it belonged to someone else, we have always replaced it or paid for the damages. We also started making sure he used his own stuff, our stuff, to prevent this from happening, especially toys my sister's kids have. But his condition means he can't do everything other kids his age might be able to do. Now this is a huge problem for my sister. Last weekend my son spent the day with my parents while my wife and I were attending an event. My sister went to my parents and asked for my son to help her and her kids pack up stuff for their move. And my son said he couldn't help, and he was sorry. My sister told him he's a big boy now and should be helping, but my son told her he doesn't do that kind of stuff. My parents told my sister to leave. She confronted me after this and asked me what I was teaching my kid when he won't help out family. I told her we're teaching him to work within his means and to not help out someone who will berate him for his condition, which she will do. She said we're coddling and spoiling him, that he's more than old enough to learn how to be more careful, to do better, and to cause less accidents and make fewer mistakes, and he needs to learn to help family. And we need to make him do stuff for family to be good parents. I told her my son will never help her with stuff, because she lacks the compassion and understanding that his efforts would require. Her response was that it was an asshole thing to say, that he wouldn't help specifically her, and that she's still his aunt and my sister, and I'm supposed to be her brother. I told her she's supposed to be my sister and my son's aunt, but she edges on bullying him over this, and it does not make her a suitable person for him to try helping out. She asked me for an apology, and for me to make this right. She told me I owe her that much, at the very least. Am I the asshole? Ian. Not the asshole. Has your sister even tried to understand your son's condition? Because it sounds like she's just chalking it up to a clumsy kid who needs to learn how to be more careful. I need trying. When that's not the issue here at all. You're a good dad for not subjecting your son to the bullying of an aunt who cannot respect and take into account his limitations, and it shows in that he felt comfortable standing up for himself. Not the asshole. Even if your son didn't have a disability, it's fucking rude of her to try and press gang him into helping her pack to move. He's not a slave she can pick up and cart off for manual labor when she feels like it. NTA. Adult with dyspraxia here. Thank you for making an effort to understand your kid's abilities and limitations. Good job standing up for your kiddo. You're not the asshole. She asked me for an apology, and for me to make this right. I'm sorry you lack basic understanding of my son's condition. I'm sorry you lack the empathy to understand it's not about coddling him. It is helping him manage his condition. To make this right, I am forwarding you several links to websites that will help you understand. I am also sending you a book on etiquette. 1. Your sister doesn't think your son's disease is real and he should grow out of it. I also tell people without legs to stop being lazy and to stand up. 2. Your parents are great for understanding and for telling your sister to leave. 3. Well done on telling your sister to not be a dick. Not the asshole who goes unannounced to someone else's house to get an 8-year-old to help pack up their house, when the child's parents left them with specific people and knew nothing about the intention to get the child to help pack. Why would anyone think an 8-year-old's help would be so important to the task, particularly when the child is not part of the moving household? Your sister is an entitled ass. He has to help her because she says so? After waiting until you'd left? Knowing full well there might be breakage? What did she want him to break so you'd have to replace it with something new? Not the asshole. My BF has dyspraxia. I try not to ask him to do things that require spatial awareness. Why on earth would your sister think a dyspraxic 8-year-old is the best person to help her move? One thing that has helped my BF immensely is rock climbing and bouldering. By focusing solely on his body positioning and hand-foot placement for an hour or two, a few times a week, he is finding that he's less accident-prone. It may be something your son would enjoy more than repetitive physio work, if that's an option for you. Not the asshole. You do not owe your sister an apology. She is 1,000 in the wrong here. Everything she said was an asshole thing to say. If she can't be bothered understanding him, why should your son ever bother lifting a finger for her? A child shouldn't have to apply basic decency, compassion, and respect out of a grown-ass adult by showing it first. This woman sounds petty as fuck. Not the asshole. Either she is extremely ableist, willfully ignorant about his condition, or wants you to buy new stuff after your son breaks it. Not the asshole. And I must say, even without dyspraxia, I find the idea of going to an 8-year-old specifically to help you pack to be bordering on the absurd. You're being a great mom and looking after your kids' well-being, both physical and psychological. So well done all round. Not the asshole. Hypocrites asking for apologies are my new pet peeve. Not the asshole. Continue protecting and standing up for your son. Your son's health matters most here. You're not in the wrong for prioritizing his well-being. Your sister needs to understand and respect his limitations. It's about supporting him, not spoiling him. Don't let guilt overshadow what's best for your son. Stand firm. Not the asshole, and she owes you and your son more than just an apology. Where the hell does your sister get off in roping your son into chores for her and her family? Helping them pack is something she could ask him in case he wanted to, but it is absolutely not something he should have been obligated to do by an adult because it wasn't his stuff, and he wasn't going anywhere. Your sister is in awe with major control issues. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Your son is disabled. Your sister would scold a paraplegic for not running a marathon. Not the asshole. She can stick that apology up her hairy rectum.